Chair Shot Reality, episode 343. Juice Springsteen, Justin LeVar here with you at Point Park University Center for Media Innovation in the beautiful downtown Pittsburgh. Juice, we got a lot of hot topics to kick the weekend off, and it is wrestling related. Don't worry, we're not going to harp on it too much, but let's just go ahead and say it. Whether you like it or not, there's a certain amusement that a WWE Hall of Famer is in fact the new president of the United States.
Do you think that they'll run with this in some, like, do you think they'll mention it at some point? Because they have to be careful about how they mention it if they do. Because if they do, it'll just be as if we were going to mention it.
Yeah, I think they have to watch how they tout it, especially because, you know, there's a half of the country right now that is
I think the only way to do it would be with Vince. Vince has to maybe make an appearance or say something and drop it.
I think, yeah, they have to be careful about it, quite honestly, again, because it's a sensitive issue right now. I mean, it's democracy, but it's a sensitive issue. You know, it's interesting seeing the WWE talents. This really was interesting. The WWE talents on Twitter, and a lot of them were seeing like they had a little bit of an anti-Trump stance, and which obviously fine for them. I was like, man, I'd be wary if I was them to do that, knowing that my employer, knowing that he's in the Hall of Fame. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I guess
you gotta be unbiased.
But I'll say this: I'm guaranteeing it. Whether Trump won or lost, I was saying this weeks ago. He's going to be at WrestleMania.
Do you think he's going to be at WrestleMania as the president?
Yes, he will be at WrestleMania.
Doing what?
Just adding, in Vince's word, adding to the pageantry. Everybody's here.
That's the biggest pageantry you can get. Is having
everybody there.
I mean, president at the show.
I mean, Trump's been at many WrestleManias. He hosted two of them before. He shaved Vince's head at WrestleMania 23. I was there, but he's never been there. They've never actually had the president of the United States at WrestleMania. If it doesn't happen this year, it'll happen somewhere in his first 4 years.
You really think so?
I do.
I hope
somewhere in these 4 years that he's in office for sure. It
would have to be in some sort of heel segment, I feel.
Well, speaking of heels, some people he's the greatest babyface ever. To some people he's the greatest heel ever. Hulk Hogan. Brooke Hogan went out and said the quote was basically like, I can confirm he may do something at WrestleMania, which that doesn't make any sense either. I can confirm that he may.
Well, I can confirm that he might or not. 50% either way. No one knows.
So then Hulk comes out now and says, "No, I haven't even talked to anybody in WWE."
I would kind of believe that, but
I'm saying Trump's going to be at WrestleMania in the next 4 years.
There's a good bet. Who shows up first?
Trump?
In 4 years or this year? Well, in 4 years, Hogan. He has to. I think they'll.
So you don't think maybe Trump doesn't get there at all, but definitely Hogan?
I think I definitely can see it. It's plausible for Trump, but it's so crazy.
What if they both show up? Hogan's like for a day, like head of Secret Service,
or like Trump comes out and then Hogan comes out and interrupts him. What is Trump just going to be in the audience if he's there?
I think he's the president. You can't have him a sitting duck. I don't know. I think you have to put him in a box or something. I don't know.
All right. Well, I don't know.
Maybe he just comes to the ring and then he leaves.
But I think Hogan's eventually going to be back at WrestleMania, eventually back in the WWE. But I don't know if this year is going to be the year or not. It's in Orlando.
Well, if Hogan or Trump goes to WrestleMania, regardless, it's going to be so much hoopla that WWE is convinced they're going to need a 4-man commentary team. SmackDown has a 4-person commentary team. They added Tom Phillips.
They keep adding people. Maybe I can get in on this.
Calm down. They added Tom Phillips, which first off, I mean, I like Tom Phillips, but now you have 2 play-by-play guys in Tom and Morrow. You have JBL and Otunga. The desk doesn't even physically fit for them. And then
they need a couch like this.
Events, they need a couch at ringside. That actually would look pretty.
They're gonna have,
that might be kind of WrestleMania.
A lounge area, just like hanging out with people.
I actually like that. I mean, you can't break the couch like you would a table. But, and then the main event comes out. They do the big main event on SmackDown. AJ Styles does guest commentary. Yep. And so I believe they kicked Tom out. Like, what's the point of adding? The only thing I could think about adding a 4th person is that, I mean, like, you'd think that like they would then have moved somebody off, but they didn't. They left David on there. They left JBL on there.
They should just have like an interchangeable every week. It's just someone different that's put in because they can't. I didn't think it was wrong with Otunga. Maybe they swapped Otunga out.
This is not going to be a popular answer, and I don't know this for a fact.
How many things have you said that are popular with people?
True. This is not going to be a popular statement, but I could see potentially them moving Tom out there, who was a play-by-play guy, and for the knowing of maybe Morrow's not going to be there. I mean, we don't know what kind of deal Morrow signed. He's still very much involved in all these other things. He does call the matches, not traditional to what WWE instructs their announcers.
It doesn't seem like you're very high on he's going to be here for that long.
I don't know for a fact, but here's what I do know. I know that Morrow does things differently, and I even know actual examples compared to what they instruct other announcers. Morrow does things differently. I'm not saying bad. I'm saying does it differently. So I'm wondering if they know something internally whether it's contract or whatever. Maybe Morrow, I don't know. Maybe Morrow said he's leaving. I don't know. Don't know for a fact. I'm just saying. But if something like that's going on, then maybe they're like, okay, well, we don't want to just throw Tom out there cold.
Yeah.
And not having, let's get him back in a rhythm. Maybe Michael Cole doesn't want to be doing it. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's interesting that they're four-man commentary team. I don't know if they've ever done that regularly.
They have 2 hours to fill four-man commentary. They got a pre-show and post-show for both shows. They just add people. They don't have.
I hope Morrow's not going anywhere. I like Morrow.
I'm looking forward to his commentary at Survivor Series.
Another great commentary. XFL. Remember the great XFL commentary? I mean, you had cheerleaders down on the side of the field. The commentators up there talking about that.
Jesse Ventura in the box.
Jesse Ventura's in the box.
My favorite football jersey of all time. He hate me.
Even better than your Shane.
Oh, definitely, by far.
We'll get to Shane in a little bit. XFL, they're doing a 30
for 30.
The week before Super Bowl, correct?
Well, of course, perfect timing to show a failing organization with a controversial organization that's the NFL right now.
XFL at least had fun.
Yes, the extra fun league. That's not the no fun league. Right. I don't know. I'm excited for it. They said they're going to do one about Ric Flair too for 30 for 30, and it's interesting to me that now that ESPN's gotten WWE the partnership between them, and now they're doing all these things kind of garnering because they're not going to have the footage unless they go to Titan Towers.
Well, it makes you wonder how they pitch it to Vince for Vince to say okay, because it's hard to do a story in the XFL without the narrative that it was a one-year failure, but there's also the case of where XFL did do some things that were innovative towards the NFL.
Some of
the camera angles, So I'm curious how they pitched it to Vince, and I imagine that they're going to at least let him be involved in at least let him see the final edit before it goes.
We're in Pittsburgh. Who was a former quarterback that was the MVP of the league? Tommy Maddox.
There we go.
There you go, connecting everywhere.
All right, and finally closing it out here in our hot topics.
More extreme things here.
This was something that maybe could have happened on the XFL field.
Oh, definitely.
Sin Cara, the man who plays Sin Cara, used to be Hunico, gets in another altercation.
He's had more fights backstage than CM Punk's had in his MMA career.
Sin Cara, yes, he has. Sin Cara gets into another altercation with a coworker. This time it was when they're overseas. Now, granted, when they go overseas, they do travel by bus. It's a very they spend a lot more time with each other because they'd all travel together. We heard a lot of stories over the years of a lot of fun that goes down in Europe because of that travel situation.
Wasn't a plane ride from hell on an
overseas? It was overseas. Yeah,
so all this stuff happens.
Well, yeah, they get I don't know, they get drinking. It's just a long
lag,
trip.
Drinking.
Jet lag.
I don't know.
Anyways, Sin Cara gets into a fight with Chris Jericho, who also has had some recent. But Jericho is, as we always hear, when the story comes out, and then at least we hear what we think is the real story. Jericho's altercations always seem, at least the other recent one with Brock Lesnar, always seem to be in the vein of standing up for himself or the boy. In the case of the whole Brock Lesnar thing, it was standing up for Randy Orton and what have you in the locker room. Sin Cara's, on the other hand, always seem like they come off as just, I don't want to say bully. I'm not going to say that, but it just comes off as he's just being an agitator in one way or the other.
I don't know if we'll ever find out the true story, but it seems like Sin Cara may or may not be around for much longer if this keeps happening.
I mean, and I'm not wishing anybody lose their job, but I just want to think about this. You play a character that was a mask, meaning they could put somebody else under the mask.
Put Titus O'Neil under there. No.
You could take one of the shining stars, put him under a mask. You could take you. Get you a fake tattoo, bulk you up a little bit, put a spray tan on you. You could be.
I'm down. I'm the next Sin Cara. Juice Cara.
Tip of the day: stand up for what you believe in. Stand up for yourself. Be a man. All that stuff's great, but don't cause problems at work when your identity's under a mask.
Exactly. And so
bad idea.
They go overseas and they have problems. We should never go overseas for a chair shot. That might cause some problems.
That's been a huge request of the people over the year. The people over the year have wanted us to go overseas. I think that needs to happen.
It'd be fun.
If you have a local pub, over there, I don't care whether it's
think they have a few
England, Ireland, whatever. If you have a pub that you can pull some strings, go ahead and contact us. We will take CSO on the road. We'll travel by bus.
Oh, it's on the road after we cross the pond.
I mean. Maybe we'll even bring Eisenberg.
Oh my God, we don't want to burn it to the ground. We just want to have some fun.
True. Renell will Renell on everybody with his magic.
Yeah, he'll do some magic, I'm sure.
All right.
His balls out in England.
Why stop saying balls?
I saw the table.
The magic is over for this segment. We got plenty more to talk about, including Juice and I talking about Shane McMahon being added to his team at Survivor Series, and Josh and I are going to finish the weekend off talking about SmackDown Live, episode 900, and The Undertaker returns. Don't go anywhere.